Hallo und willkommen zum 29. Video von 3 Minuten Deutsch. Today I'm going to be talking to you about more of the dative case. Today we're talking about dative prepositions. The ones on our list for today are aus, außer, bei, gegenüber, mit, nach, seit, and zu. Aus means out of or from, and it's often confused with von, which also translates as from. This is why I often tell people that they should translate it in their head as out of instead of from. This is true, for instance, if you were getting a letter from someone, it wouldn't make sense to get one out of someone. It's kind of gross if you just like to jab your hand into their chest and pull out a letter. Ich schüttele den Staub aus meinem Schuh aus. I am shaking the dirt out of my shoe. Kommt aus Spanien. He is from Spain. Also means except or besides. Wir gehen alle ins Kino, außer meinem Bruder. We are all going to the movies except for my brother. Außer einer Schwester habe ich auch noch einen Bruder. Besides a sister, I also have a brother. By is sometimes translated as with, at, or near. I found the best translation to be that helps English native speakers anyway to understand what they actually mean to say is by should be used with at. If it still makes sense with at in English, you probably mean by in German. Dein Vater arbeitet bei meiner Firma. Your father works at my company. Beim Abendessen sprechen wir über unseren Tag. At dinner we talk about our day. Gegenüber is one of the lesser-known dative prepositions, so much so that a lot of textbooks will actually leave it out entirely when they're talking about dative prepositions. Some of the confusion comes up because it can also be used behind the object instead of in front of it, like normal prepositions. It means across from. Gegenüber dem Café befindet sich das Museum. Across from the café is the museum. Der Post gegenüber befindet sich das Café. Across from the post office is the café. One of the most used prepositions in the German language, and the one that I strongly suggest any German learner get acquainted with very quickly, is mit. It means with, and as you can imagine, that could be a really handy preposition to know. Ich gehe heute Abend mit meiner Frau ins Kino. I'm going to the movies with my wife today. Was machst du mit dem Messer? What are you doing with the knife? Nach means after or towards. You can use it to indicate the name of a town, state, or country that you are traveling to, or you can tell whenever something is actually occurring. Nach dem Film werden wir essen. After the film, we will eat. Der Junge fliegt nach Berlin. The boy is flying to Berlin. Seit means since, but sometimes it makes more sense to translate it as for. Seit 4 Monaten wohne ich hier. I have been living here for 4 months. Was machst du seit Weihnachten? What have you been doing since Christmas? Von is the other from that I mentioned before when I was talking about aus. Kevin hört nichts von seinen Eltern. Kevin doesn't hear anything from his parents. Die Frau kommt von der Ärztin. The woman is coming from the doctor. Zu is usually translated as to. Wir können heute nicht zum Supermarkt gehen. Mein Sohn fährt morgen zur Universität. My son is driving to the university tomorrow. Obviously there is a lot more to be said about each of these prepositions, but this is an episode of 3 Minuten Deutsch, and therefore I had to cut it down a little bit. If you want to take a more in-depth look at each of these prepositions and use some nuances that happen with these, you can go ahead and click this blog link over here or the one down in the description. Das ist alles für heute. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.